G'day guys, Eddie here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to go through all the ins and outs of my favourite Bluetti unit so far, the mighty AC240. So this is early days for me to test this Bluetti 240, but at the moment this is my current setup. So I've got my laptop, my big Dell power thirsty laptop here with big i9 that I use for all my editing. I've got the 240 obviously here. DC wise, I guess we'll start from left to right. I'm powering our Bluetti fridge. That's a fridge freezer. The awesome thing about this bad boy is it's got an ice maker here, so you just turn that on, get some ice. I've got a separate review for that. I've got a long-term test coming for that, so if you're interested, make sure you sub to the channel. Next to that, we've got a RV point, is what they call it in the States. But basically there's an adapter from this, so you can adapt that down to a mini Anderson plug, which is awesome for us Aussies, for adapting that to our fridges and stuff like that. We've got two USB-C 100 watts, so I've got a 100 watt cable. You can see that there, that's charging our laptop at the moment, which is awesome. So it's pretty much always plugged in. You can see the DC output's 125 watts. DC input, we've got 181 watts. That's because the sun's coming down at the moment, so I'm not expecting too much. But we've got two 200 watt panels here. And this awesome bad boy can take 1200 watts of solar. So that is bloody epic. That is a lot of solar that you can put into this bad boy. A couple USB-A's. It's got my my Fitbit watch that's charging at the moment, and a head torch, and it's got 4 AC outlets here. So it's 2,400 watts, or roughly 10 amps worth of pure sine wave inverting. Just currently charging a couple, well, just one battery now, but normally got a couple of Milwaukee batteries on the go as well. One thing I really like about this, see how the bottom 2 ports are facing like the right way up, and the top 2 ports are essentially upside down. If you're using like a power pack, you know, like a tool charger or something that's got the big brick or the transformer on it, you can run 4 of these if you really wanted to. Whereas if they were both orientated the right way up, it'll obviously going to limit you. You can have 2 that you can use, and 2 you'll have to use like a short lead or something. But yeah, I thought that was fantastic how they've gone ahead and done that. So it's a hefty unit, 32 and a bit kilos, but it is a friggin' fantastic unit. It's got super sturdy handles here, with like a soft rubberized grip, as you can see. The inputs and stuff I'll speak about soon, but you've got basically a parallel port, an AC input, and that's your DC. So currently I've got this going down to these 2 panels, which are in series via the MC4 connectors. So awesome to see the MC4 industry standard connectors here in Australia. There's an earthing point here and a bleed valve as well. Moving along the back, you've just got the vents here as well. So there's a couple fans on this side, and it draws through both sides. You've got vents through the back as well, which is really, really good to see. Just your standard spec sheet on the back. The feet might be a bit difficult to show you now because I've tied it down, but there's some really good rubberized feet. The components and all the textures are typical Bluetti, just really high quality in my opinion. They're really good. I'll just move this laptop quickly so you can see the top. Just a nice flat top, which is awesome. Bluetti have done away with the wireless charging. I don't think it's a bad thing. Wireless charging is nice to have, but I reckon if you've got like a fast USB-C or a Thunderbolt cable or whatever, you can obviously charge devices significantly faster than you can with wireless charging. And you can probably see a little bit there. There's just another vent on that side and one along the front too. So it's a great unit. The capacity, the battery capacity of this one is 1536 watt hours, and that's expandable. So that's about 1.5 kilowatts, let's just call it. This is expandable up to 10 kilowatts, which is an awesome sort of portable unit. You can obviously use it like what I'm doing in the car now. So we've just got this in our Ford Ranger. We use it obviously when we go camping, when I'm filming on the road and stuff like that. You can see I'm charging a fair bit of gear. It's light at the moment. There's normally a lot more gear. plugged in here, but 1200 watts of solar. So if you're using this at home, 10 kilowatts, that's epic. You can just almost install your own custom array on the roof and have, you know, a big 1200 watt array charging your 10 kilowatt power station. So you can definitely use this if you're off grid. So the new AC240, it's honestly a pretty impressive unit. It's the bigger brother to the AC60 and the B8 expansion battery line. It's got a pretty decent IP65 rating, which means it's fairly dust and water resistant. The capacity of this unit starts from 1536 watt hours, expandable all the way up to 10,000 watt hours, which is bloody huge for a battery this size. It's got your 12 volt and 30 amp port, which is great for RV or motorhomes and yachts and things like that. You can take up to 1200 watts of solar, which is phenomenal. And in terms of the 240 volt rated output, you can do up to 2400 watts in the pure sine wave mode. That's huge. That's 10 amps of power this little unit can punch out. Or if you dial it up to power lifting mode, it can do up to 3600 watts, which is massive. If you're using this at home or in your home office as a UPS, just like all the other Bluetti portable power stations, they've got you sorted. This kicks in within 15 milliseconds. So what that means is if you lose power due to like a storm or a fault within your electrical system or whatever, and you've got an appliance plugged into this unit after the 240 side, this will kick in almost instantaneously. So 15 milliseconds. So the lights won't flicker, your laptop won't turn off or anything crazy like that. Another awesome thing about the BMS, so Bluetti, like they use their lithium iron phosphate batteries in battery technology, I should say, in these batteries. And just like with the AC180T, Bluetti got this new BMS that they call the Bluetti. So it's like an AI BMS, which is fantastic. So it's a super, super clever, sophisticated system that looks after the battery management of the cells and the whole system. And a lot of lithium batteries have that. A lot of Bluetti products already have a BMS, but this just takes it up one more notch, I'm told, from Bluetti. There's a few different ways to charge this unit. We've spoken about the solar, so you can take up to 1200 watts of solar, which is massive. You can charge either via your 12 or 24 volt DC, so your car, your motorhome, your caravan, or anything like that. You can also charge this using AC. There's a couple of ways to do that. You can simply plug it into your power point at home and turn the unit on, or you can also use something like a generator or potentially even another Bluetti to charge this as well. So it's very versatile with the way you can charge this unit. And while we're here, I'll just quickly touch on charging. So I've obviously got that hooked in at the moment just with solar, but generally what I normally do is I've just got the cable that comes with the unit, so it's got your aviation style plug with the cigarette light on the other side. I'll just plug that straight into the back of the tub, and as I'm driving, this bad boy's charging at over 100 watts. When it comes to AC charging, the unit goes from 0 to 80% within 45 minutes, which is phenomenal. So if you're packing to go camping or whatever, you can literally just plug this into your home power point, and while you're setting everything up, it should be up to at least 80%, a little bit longer if you're going to 100. And the reason for that is, and the best way to explain it, the simplest way, is say you're going to a shopping center looking for a car park, right? If it's empty or up to 80% full, you can simply drive in and park somewhere wherever you want. However, if the car park's like, say it's Christmas and it's like 80 to 100% full, it's going to take you ages to drive around and find a park. We've all been there waiting for a park. That's a real simplified version of what the electrons are trying to do when they're trying to find somewhere to park. So that's why with lithium iron phosphate battery technology, a lot of the times people specify charging times from 0 to 80% being super fast, and the last 20% naturally, just by the composition of these batteries, takes a little bit longer. Warranty wise, you got a 6-year warranty, so there's nothing to worry about for 6 years. That covers the whole unit, externally, internally, the BMS, the batteries, everything like that. The batteries cells themselves, I'm going to say they're a 10-year purchase. Like this whole unit, you shouldn't have any degradation or anything significant within that first 6 to 10 years. They have a massive duty cycle. In fact, Bluetti rate their cells to do 3,500 cycles if you leave it on silent mode. So silent mode is the slowest charger out of all three, being normal, turbo, and silent. However, if you're not in a rush, you're like me, using it at home, using the car, and you're not pressed for time, just leave it in silent. Like it might take a little bit longer, but it's going to far extend the life of the battery just by using that minimal charge. So just a few different use cases, where would you use this unit? You can obviously just use it at home, as we spoke a little bit before about just using this as a battery backup, like a UPS type system. You can use it like I do in the car for car camping and caravanning and stuff like that. You can use it as a mobile workstation on a job site if you're a tradesman and you have no power on site to use some power tools using 240 volts or charge all your gear. It's definitely a good go-to for that. Especially being IP65 rated with the water and dust ingress rating, you can basically just leave this in the back of your ute or your trailer and use it on the job site. And obviously within reason, Bluetti do recommend that you don't use it while it's raining, and that's just common sense because the unit itself might be covered in terms of its IP protection, but that plug that you've plugged in from your battery charger or your grinder, that's not going to be a properly sealed plug, and if you get water in there, you might have some shorting out or potentially safety issues. So while it's fine to leave out in the rain and stuff like that, definitely just give it a quick wipe with a towel prior to using it, and don't use it in the rain. The dust rating, however, is fantastic if you're using it in the back of the ute. You can literally just tie it down, plug your fridge straight in, and if it's overly dusty and stuff, just get the blower out and blow it. It's rated for that, it should be fine. It's a very, very versatile machine. Similar to the AC60, how we had the Bluetti B80 expansion battery, with the new AC240, Bluetti, they're about to release the new B210, is what they're calling it, the battery packs. And that brings the watt hour rating from around 1.5 kilowatts up to 10 kilowatts is what they tell us. So I can't give too much away. We'll have to wait for Bluetti to do some official releases with that product. But that's pretty exciting. You can buy this unit as it is and slowly expand based on your needs. You can start off slow, especially if you live in Australia and you're in a bushfire prone area. We lose a lot of power due to trees falling down and stuff like that. If that's you, it's awesome to have this because you can double it up or triple it up or quadruple it up in terms of your battery capacity. However, if you live close to the city or you have a reliable power network in your area with the power grid, you probably don't need so much battery capacity, I should say. But I mean, if you're harnessing the sun, you've got 1200 watts of solar and you're charging this bad boy up, you might as well make the full use of it and get at least 1 or 2 expansion batteries. And that way you can comfortably leave this outside during the day, get that solar, and at night time just plug an extension lead in and run something like your aircon at night or your heater if it's winter. So yeah, it's really expandable, and it's good that it's expandable in those ways because people can customize it for their use. Rather than having 2 products, you can essentially have 5 or 6 different variations of this product. What I'd love to see moving forward is on all the Bluettis, whether it's the small AC60s or the B series ones or the bigger ones, I'd love to see an Anderson plug or 2 on them. I know they're not massive overseas, but in Australia, a lot of products here and a lot of people rely on Anderson plugs just because of the types of roads that we have. We travel on long corrugated roads for hours, and unfortunately a lot of this 12-volt cigarette light plugs can vibrate out. Not saying it happens all the time, but there is a chance that can happen. And just for peace of mind, a lot of people either convert their plugs to Anderson plugs, or they use something secure like an angle fridge socket. I think this RV point kind of fixes that problem, where you can, like I said, with the included cables, you can adapt that down to a mini Anderson. However, I'd love just to have a full-size Anderson 1 or 2 on there, even one for the input as well for the DC side. That'd be great. In terms of weight, I'll throw this on the scale. So it is a little bit on the heavy side compared to some of the other lighter weight portable units. However, obviously the battery capacity in this is huge, so it's going to weigh a little bit more naturally. The Bluetooth app on this unit is great. I'll just briefly touch on some of the features, and I'll show you a screen recording so you can have a look for yourself. Quick dive into the app. It's going to make sure the unit is on. Click on Add Device. We'll go to Scan, and as you can see here, we'll come across to the back of the information panel. Bang, AC240 right there. Coming to it, it's found our network. So I'll just block out the password for this section. Basically, once you punch your network and your password in, press save. Here we go, it's trying to connect. It's connected. Bang, we are connected to the unit. So the phenomenal thing about this, we can basically access this from anywhere, as long as the unit itself is connected to your home Wi-Fi or the designated Wi-Fi, which is great, which is a game changer. You can turn things on and off remotely. You can make sure the battery is not getting too far depleted, turn it off and let the solar kick it in. It's pretty awesome what you can do with it now. The rest of the app's just got all the other Bluetti stuff, which is awesome. So it shows you power in, whether it's through solar or through 24 volt. The grid 240, and it's also got your outgoings to your outputs. So it shows your DC and USB outputs. It's also obviously got your AC outputs as well. You can turn those points on and off just by using the app, so you don't have to do it, so you can do it remotely, I should say. There you go. So now we've got the AC and the USBs on and off. If we check out the battery pack, it tells you a little bit about the battery, and interestingly, it's got pack 2, pack 3, pack 4, pack 5. So you can add 4 additional battery packs onto this. Coming across the top, we've got some settings here. You've got the whole manual, which is great. You can share the device with your friends and family if you want to. The default connection mode, so we go to the cloud like we spoke earlier with the Wi-Fi, or we go through Bluetooth, totally up to you. We can set this to display on the home page, so that's just taken over my favorite AC180, which is a shame, but I reckon this is going to be my next favorite. Working mode, so we've got a few different ways we can go through this. So we've got the UPS standard, PV priority UPS, time controls, and customize, and we can go all through this later. Another video once we have a good deep dive. This is literally, as you can see there, state of charge settings from 30 to 80. You can adjust everything, time of use. That's awesome. So many things you can do on this app, which is great. But we'll go through all that in the detailed video, guys. So for now, this is just a quick overview of the unit. Go powerlifting mode, so that obviously bumps up the output from 2,400 watts to almost double, or pretty much double. You can select eco mode as well. This is awesome. So basically what this is saying is after 4 hours, if it detects a load less than 15 watts, the unit will turn off, the AC side, which is good. So you can change that to 150 watts or whatever you want, really. We go 99 watts. Oh, there you go. Sorry, only from 0 to 40 watts. There you go. So you can max it up if you want. I honestly leave both of those off anyway, especially the DC, because I've realized our fridge at night time uses sometimes less than 10 watts over the 4 hours when it's not cycling. So then you can wake up in the morning and the unit will turn the fridge off. What else we got? Auto sleep, that's for the screen. So you can set the screen to never turn off, 1, 3, and 5 minutes. Oh, sorry, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and 5 minutes, as you saw. DC input source, self-adaptive. So we'll go through this again in the later video with a bit more detailed. Obviously check the version of it. It's got all your display and your arm and all that. Go into advanced settings. So this is important in Australia, for example, with 50 Hertz. So make sure you select the right frequency for your home or your office. Maximum charging off grid. So here you go. Before proceeding, make sure that silent mode is off. Note that the AC power source should meet your desired current requirements. You can only adjust the current between 1 to 10 amps. The higher the current is required, enter Pro mode to configure it. So you can go Pro mode, not liable, blah, 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 which is good. So at least they allow you to do this stuff. Type the Pro mode password in and off you go. But we won't worry about that for now. Again, you can go to the About Device section too. About settings, and that's it. So in a nutshell, we can deep dive into this another time if you guys are interested. There's a lot in here. There really is. All right, so we'll measure some of the cables that are included within the Bluetti AC240. One thing I noted, and I've just spoken to Bluetti about it, I was just wanting to know, in the packing list it says there are a couple cables, RV power cable for RV 12 volt devices. It appears to be the aviation style plug to, I think it's like the XT60 cable, the yellow one, and then the XT60 to what looks like a mini Anderson. So Bluetti going to send one of them out. I've had a few Bluetti products and I've never had anything missing whatsoever, but in this kit it seems to be missing. Don't know why, but they're going to send that out. I just asked the question whether This was for potentially not for Australian markets, but it looks like it's meant to be. But anyway, let's measure these, and when the extension cable and the 12 volts camping RV cable comes, I will put that in the comments below about how long the cable is. So we'll start off with the 12 volt cigarette lighter adapter here. So just your normal warning stuff, so you make sure it's fully inserted. That's obviously so we don't create any heat points, and that goes with everything electrical. Make sure the connection's good, otherwise you get high resistance, and then adds to arcing and could potentially catch on fire. So it's good that they include that, because some people don't know that. So you're gonna make sure it's plugged in properly. So for those who have watched the last video, you know the table's 2 meters long. So any cable longer than that is longer than 2 meters. This one's about 1680-ish. That's a nice long DC cable. So that'll do your cars, your trucks, your motorhomes, your caravans, anywhere between 12 and 24 volts. Second is your MC4 solar patch lead. So that's also got the same sort of aviation style plug as the AC60 and B80 expansion cables that this plugs in. So looking at this is obviously shorter, but having a look, it's about 840 millimeters, maybe 850 if I stretch it. That's good. Those who know the Bluetti panels, like the MP200, come with a nice long lead off the solar panel itself. So add that to this and you've got quite a long lead. And lastly, we have the AC lead. And this has also got a aviation style plug. However, this one's slightly different. This one it's obviously labeled AC as well, but you've got your red, your black, and your earth, or potentially the other way around, but there's two little data pins. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm not too sure what they're for. Potentially like some temperature monitoring maybe. But yeah, let's rip this out. So again, we're plugged in one side, and we're about 1650 as well on this side. So that's awesome, that's nice and long. You can obviously always just extend this. You've got a 10 amp 3-pin plug on here with an earth as well. Another nice little touch, I've realized they're including a lot of the new Bluettis. They're small things, but awesome little bits of Velcro, which is awesome. So you can just sort of assist with that cable management, whether it's when you're stowing away, or say you got like you only need this much to plug into your unit. You can tie that off and make it nice and neat. That's quite simple. Just runs through a loop and Velcro's back on itself. That's awesome. Little things like that make me happy. All right, so this sums up my initial thoughts on this unit. As always, if you hang around in a few weeks to a few months, I'll do a long-term review on this unit. I'll let you know whether I think it's worth buying or not. And honestly, just looking at the specs and the initial feel and just the look on this unit, I really think this one's a keeper. My favorite to date has been the AC180, just for the size, the battery capacity, the handles, and I reckon Bluetti have honestly gone like one step further. The quality in this unit is really nice. The handles feel great. They're nice and strong, and obviously the unit's quite heavy compared to the AC180, but they've counted for that. It's got nice rubber feet on the ground, so it won't slip around. The IP65, that just blows any other of the Bluettis out of the water that don't have that IP rating. So this is perfect if you're into car camping, caravanning, just living off grid even. If you're a tradesman, you use this on the job site, it's fantastic for that. There's so many uses for it. You get a 6-year warranty, and like I said, at least 10 years, I reckon, on the battery capacity. The screen's awesome. The new line of screens that Bluetti have got are just fantastic. If you check out my last video about the AC180T and the AC70, they've got this new screen, super clear, crisp. You can look at it in all different lights. You get an awesome Bluetti app as well. I've spoken about that in some other videos, but that is phenomenal. Thanks again for joining me on this introductory video of the AC240. If you want to keep up to date with any further information and testing that comes out of this, make sure you hit that sub button. And if you're interested in purchasing either this or any of the other Bluetti products, I really appreciate if you use the code EddieTurbo on checkout. Literally all the money goes straight back into the channel. I just bought a brand new laptop worth $7,000. I need to buy better camera gear. So everything I earn through using my affiliate link, I invest 100% back into the channel. So yeah, that'd be much greatly appreciated if you could consider using EddieTurbo on checkout when you're purchasing Bluetti items. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is awesome product. My favorite Bluetti has been the AC180. This just, in my mind, just trumps it, you know, 1,000-fold. So there's so many great features to love about this, as I've mentioned in the video. And yeah, this one's definitely going to be a keeper. So see you next time, guys. Catch up.